Hey, what's up guys? My name's Kyle and I just wanted to give you guys a little insight into my mind, but also shed a little light on an important issue in the world. I know, the air just got tense, didn't it? Even though people treat this topic as something controversial, it's nothing that should really be shied away from. Our world's gone through climate changes since its birth, far before we even existed to be scared of talking about it. Now, I'm not going to talk about the politics of climate change or big business or any of that. I just wanted to explain why humans are one, if not the main cause of the change. Now, there are two major ways in which humans affect the climate directly. The first and most talked about issue has to be the burning of fossil fuels. You may be wondering, why is that a factor? Well, fossil fuels contain a lot of greenhouse gases, one of the most abundant being carbon dioxide, which you may remember from science class as being the gas that plants use to make the oxygen we animals need to breathe, and the gas that we also exhale back into the air. Without the outside forces, we animals would output carbon dioxide at about the same rate that plants intake it. However, burning fossil fuels releases carbon that has been trapped in the earth for millions of years back into the air, increasing the rate that we would normally be releasing it. Now, with enough plants, that's not much of an issue. Sure, it may not sound like a good idea to be breathing in those gases, but with enough time, those plants would use up those greenhouse gases to make more oxygen for us. Up top, plant! Notice how I said, though, with enough plants. Well, that also brings us to the next issue. Once again, controversial, right? Well, it's really not. Quite simply, we're just cutting down trees to make items that we need, or to heat our homes, or even just to have enough space to live. It's a necessary evil in a way. So I've already explained why plants are good for taking carbon out of the air while they're alive, but what about once they're dead? What about when they're laying on the ground, decaying? Well, when a tree dies and falls down, it begins to decay, like I said, which releases some of its carbon back into the air. But most of it, though, remains in the tree. As it's buried in the soil, still in that tree, the earth swallows it up. Over time, that dead tree is heated and pressurized until it becomes a form of fossil fuel. This process decreases the net amount of carbon in the atmosphere. However, if you were to burn a tree, dead or alive, all that carbon would be released back into the air, undoing all of the progress that that tree made over the course of its life.
Kyle, have you seen my houseplant?
No, Mom! While this wouldn't cause any net change in atmospheric carbon levels by itself, if the tree were living, it would decrease the total amount of carbon that the planet could take in at a time. As I previously said, that is necessary to counteract the levels of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere that are being put there by the burning of the fuels. I keep throwing out that term, greenhouse. Well, a greenhouse works by allowing more light and energy to come into it than it allows to leave, keeping its interior temperature hot, even if it's a relatively low outside temperature. Well, that's what greenhouse gases do to our planet. You see, as light from the sun hits our planet absorbs some of the energy, which warms it, while reflecting some of it back out to space. However, as greenhouse gases are introduced, that escaping energy that was reflected off of our planet has a much harder time reaching outer space, and causes temperature to rise a bit more. So what does all of this mean? Well, as this increase in global temperature occurs, it can wreak havoc on the inhabitants of our planet, destroying both habitats and food sources for thousands of species, causing many to become endangered or even extinct. This could in turn upset certain economies that are dependent on their wildlife, or even their landmarks as a source of revenue, as a raised temperature by even just a little bit could cause many biomes to shift around, introducing new plants and animals to places where they don't belong, ultimately destroying the natural habitat. As for my own opinion on the matter, in order to believe that I am as intelligent as I hope I am, I have to admit that humans are a major cause of the climate change that we're going through, and that certain changes really need to be made. Personally, I would like to see cars and industrial plants with some sort of filter that traps what carbon that it can, which can then be buried back into the earth or disposed of in some kind of way, and hopefully be renewed back into the fossil fuels someday. While I understand there's probably issues with that, it's still nice to be optimistic that something could be done. I would also love to see more renewable energy farms put into action around the world, whether they be solar, wind, or hydroelectric, or any other new forms of energy that they come up with anytime soon. I'm from an Illinois wind farm, so it's nice to see that steps are being taken, even if in some cases they're baby steps around the world. Alright guys, you have the concept as well as my opinion, so I'd love to ask everyone what your opinion is on the matter. What are some other ways humans affect the climate, other methods being used to help fix the greenhouse effects, and what are some things that you have done or will do to help out? I'd love it if you guys would share your comments on the matter, give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and share it with other people that might like it. I hope you all enjoy your day, and we'll see you guys next time. Later!